So after patch 1.06, I feel like everybody is in like a pretty good mood regarding From Software balance patches going forward. And while we're all in a good mood, I would like to draw your attention to the end of the patch notes in 1.06, and you'll notice it says something along the lines of, please look forward to more updates. And what that means is that there will be more patches. And it said the same thing in patch 1.05 and 1.04. And it said the same thing in patches back in Dark Souls 3 days. When they're done patching the game, it will say, this concludes yada yada, thank you for your support, yada yada. And I just bring that to your attention because a lot of time passed between patch 1.05 and 1.06. And a lot of people seriously thought that they might just be done patching the game. They were not. But no amount of me telling you that they were going to patch it would have, you would believe it when you see it, right? Okay, well now that everybody's in a good mood, I hope, see it for yourself. Look, it's there, and it will be there. And when they're finished patching the game, you will know. It will say, thank you for your support. Instead of please look forward, it will say, thank you for your support. Okay, so, patch 1.07. This is just a list of things that I would like to see. I'm not going to say anything that I think would change the fundamental spirit of the game. I'm going to not recommend or ask for things that would change PvE, because PvE comes first, and I recognize that. Also, I recognize that what I want, what I think I want, and what I actually want are two different things. I recognize that. These are just ideas that I have. Feel free to leave a comment, and, you know, what would you like to see in a hypothetical patch 1.07? Okay, I'm going to start low stakes, but this is very important to me. Please allow me to put Unsheath on a straight sword, and allow me to put Square Off on a katana. Straight swords and katanas already share a huge group of Ashes of War. They share the same poise damage values. There's just let them also. There's no reason only katanas have Unsheath and only straight swords have Square Off. Let them switch it up. The titular character of Sekiro spends 80% of the game, Sekiro, doing the Square Off gesture with his katana. You know what I mean? It's just a cool pose for katanas to have. So let them have Square Off, let straight swords have Unsheath. Okay, that's silly, I know, but I really want it. Change number 2. Don't let players turn off the Taunters Tongue unless they sit at a grace. If you're a solo host, this changes pretty much nothing. If you're a group of players, there's now a risk to you using the Taunters Tongue. You don't just get one invader at a time. If an invader manages to beat one of your friends, and you have 2 friends, now there can be 2 invaders. There's a little bit of a risk to the Taunters Tongue. As it stands, groups of players being able to turn off the Taunters Tongue is so utterly, insanely pointless. I don't know how this happened. I don't know how. I almost think someone at From Software doesn't realize that that's how it works. That's how dumb an idea it is. I do not understand why it works this way. Again, a solo player with the Taunters Tongue, this would barely affect them at all. They could just go to a grace and turn off the Taunters Tongue. A group of players can't sit at a grace, so now there's actually some risk to you ganking. There should be risk to you ganking. It's insane to me that it's not. Please make people not be able to turn off the Taunters Tongue unless they sit down at a grace. 3. Status effects. Everyone, I'm sure, is aware that if you dodge an attack, it doesn't matter. The status effect that that attack has still builds up. Bleed, madness, sleep, frostbite, things like that. This is very annoying. If you can't fix that, then at least give players the same benefit that you give to the NPCs and the bosses. In this game, if you bleed a boss, say it takes 2 hits to bleed the boss. The next time you do it, it will take 4 hits. The next time it will take 8 hits. The next time it will take, etc. Give that same thing to players, because it is so annoying to dodge dual Saint Trinas, dual Vikes, dual Scavenger Swords, dual Naginatas. It's so annoying to dodge those attacks and still have the status effects proc. So if you at least give me higher defenses every time it procs, it doesn't proc as often now. That alone would go a long way in making it more balanced. It would be easier to fight these things. Yeah, I dodged the attack. Why am I still falling asleep? I dodged the attack. Why am I still having madness? It's dumb. If you can't fix one thing, at least give me the other. And then last... okay, so here's the thing about... Everyone complains about Moonveil. I understand that Moonveil is strong, but I don't think that it's too strong, okay? Moonveil and a few other weapons and Ashes of War like it, I think that they're approaching the cusp of too strong, but I don't think they're over that cusp. But I think I have a good, modest sort of middle ground where those attacks would still be very good. They would just maybe not do 1600 damage. And that's give them diminishing returns with Alexander Shard and the Godfrey Icon. Just those high motion value havers. Motion value, for those of you who don't know, is a hidden modifier that is applied to attacks in these games. It's always been there. Your first R1 light attack, has very low motion value. Your second has a little higher. Your third has even more than that. And the reason is because, logically, that first attack comes out fast, doesn't need a lot of motion value. The second one is a little riskier. Someone could parry it, someone could have moved out of the way. The third one is even riskier, so it has the potential to do even more damage. And so it has a higher motion value. Now your R1s, your light attacks, they don't have a lot of motion value, period, but the subsequent attacks do. Alright, R2s have higher motion value, jump attacks have higher motion value, and Ashes of War have much higher motion value. Maybe those Ashes of War that have insane motion value, like Moonveil, maybe just give those like a diminishing return with Godfrey Icon and or Alexander Shard. They'd still be very good. They'd still be very, very good. They just wouldn't do 1600 damage. And I think that's a fair sort of middle. Anyway, that's my list. What's yours? What would you like to see? Let me know. And I'll see you next time. Later, y'all.